And we are live.
Hey everyone, I repeated myself twice. It's Ultra Podcast Z episode. I don't know why I'm saying anything like this. I don't know why I do anything in my life. It's actually funny because I forgot.
No one knows.
My brain had a moment right now, and I forgot what we were doing, and I forgot that everyone's cameras are right here, and now I know what we're doing. Why does Manuel do anything? I don't know why I do anything. You're logged into the J. I love it when that happens, because then it looks like I'm arguing with myself. Yeah. Uh, uh, Conventions. We were talking about conventions when we started. Now I'm all like conventioned out. I'm like, we're supposed to do a holiday tier list, but let's just do a convention tier. We're not doing that. That's a good idea,
That's
though.
a dangerous game.
You should
It's
totally
a good
do
idea.
that
It's a dangerous
for next month.
game.
You should totally do a tier list of conventions for next month.
Yeah, and we totally wouldn't promote up on the list ones that would say give us badges or free stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say. See, that's why it's a dangerous game, because I feel like if we put someone like at a lower one, because we legitimately didn't have fun there, like, what if that gets back to them? Like, oh, I saw you fucking put, the fucking random NorCal console. You put us at a D. Like, what's that?
Just make sure it's a con you're okay with burning bridges with, because man, I got a couple out here.
Well, honestly, we could put D's and F's for like Matsuri and all the Midwest cons, for like the Rankoff one. So like right there, we have a D's and F's. Like, just if that's the bar we're setting, then I'm pretty sure no con that's even if it's boring belongs in those.
No, but what if it wraps back around? They're like, we saw you gave us a D. Here's so many free tickets to change your mind.
I don't know. It's kind of weird because like I've been noticing a lot of Texas people are also enjoying my stuff, so I kind of am growing like a partial bias to that. And these are not conveniently these are like cool people. A lot of people are telling me stuff like Houston people are like really California people. So I don't know.
Dude, like everyone gives Texas a lot of crap.
Wait.
Texas,
Sorry.
Yeah, we are live.
Minority.
Yeah. That's not what I'm saying. Wait for. That's not what I'm saying. Wait for. Two things.
Oh.
One, I don't know if you meant for this, but everyone's name is slightly higher than everyone else's. Like, here's
I didn't know we were going to use video tonight, so I had to throw this together.
Second of all,
responsibility. I'm sorry about that. And you're
second of all, Janet's misspelled, and it's 2 T's and an E. But
there's a thing. There's something I could say, but it'd be a song, and I don't know how much of that we can say without copyright.
I just want to say that JD is the goat. Straight up the goat.
I really love this glitch in the Matrix type thing you have going on right now, though.
Yeah, it's literally called glitch.
Oh, is it really?
Oh.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me. I'm sorry. Can you lower for Photaku's name and move my name like a ting to the right so it's in the middle of my box? It's just gonna drive me crazy the entire stream. Thank you.
How is that different from any other day?
It's just the little things that drive you crazy. It's just
I mean, but every little thing drives you crazy.
Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's actually get on with the show.
I promise.
I'm sorry.
So, Manuel, who are you?
I was just
noticing.
double checking it.
Sorry. I'm just reading. I didn't know we could put like who the subs and the donors and all that shit is. Is that information always been there? We just never put it up because we're
basically.
Maybe. Probably sounds like us.
Oh fuck. Yeah, sounds like us exactly. Hi everyone, I'm Manuel. I'm the leader of Sounds Like Us, and it's my fault that nobody did that before until tonight. Episode 156, everyone. We're finally getting it together a little. And we're ranking holiday food tiers tonight, and joining me besides JD, who is doing the hosting duties. It's Photaku. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Photaku. I'm a photographer who likes pho, and I am thankful anytime I get to show up. And it's super awesome. JD's completely awesome. I will once again say JD is the GOAT, if I can just have that as the moniker on the side. But either way, I'm glad to be here and ranking food again.
Oh, I forgot you were here last. And speaking of who was here the last time we did this, I forgot. I pretty much reassembled the exact same crew except sans Warren. It's Janet.
Hi, I'm Janet. I am not here often, but here I am. I also like food. I like to tell Manuel about Little Caesars happenings, and I am also part of the Texas Defense Squad. I understand Texas has bad optics. I promise it's not that bad, and I'm trying to make it better.
Texas has its moments. It really does. I mean, good moments. I mean, it does have its bad moments, but it gets too much flack sometimes.
I mean, it's like, yeah, Texas has Greg Abbott, but Texas also has really, really, really good food.
Texas also has a lot of nothing. If you ever drive through Texas, like from El
Right?
Paso to like you get to like Houston
It's
or whatever, yeah, it's nothing.
it's so concentrated around the cities, but as soon as you actually get out, like I'm in DFW, and once you get out of the Metroplex, it's nothing. It's
Ugh.
wild.
Hi, gut, um, gut.
Guti
Sorry, I
Alva?
can't even.
Guti. It's Guti.
Guti.
Guti, hi. What's up?
Yes. So, Manny, what are we
Okay.
doing tonight?
Thank you for tuning in. He's one of my subs. He's super awesome.
Oh,
Huh.
thank
Well,
you for
thank you
tuning
for
in.
tuning in. I hope you have a
tonight-
good time.
Tonight we're gonna be ranking. Well, see, when I first had this idea, originally we were gonna do like holiday food, and honestly, there's a lot of similarities between Christmas, Thanksgiving, anyway. So I think the only like I mentioned before we started, the only thing missing, as far as I'm concerned, on this list that we're gonna do tonight are all the Mexican type foods. But also, when you start throwing that stuff in, it almost feels exclusionary because I'm like, we're gonna just throw those in because there's like some Mexican people like who are gonna be on this thing. But I'm pretty sure if we brought in someone, if we had Warren here, he probably would have something, some Asian, foods that they have at Thanksgiving and so on. Do they have rice? You know. By the way, we also have rice. Where's rice on this list? Where are the frijoles? So yeah,
For the frijoles? I forget.
The frijoles.
I forget.
The frijol?
Molly's more Mexican than you now. Sorry.
She is. No, fun fact on the last DTL, we were mentioning there's a word I cannot say it for the save of my life, and it's a Spanish word, and if I had a gun to my head, I could say tortilla like a
Tortilla.
true Hispanic person, but the place where one makes tortillas is called a tortilleria, but obviously that's the white way of saying it. I cannot say that in the quote unquote proper pronunciation. It's just too many
Tortilleria.
like it's too many like floating vowels and R's and shit like that for my tongue to handle. And Molly said it on the stream out of nowhere. Even though I don't think she ever heard the word before. So yeah, I'm officially not Mexican.
Yeah, we're taking your
Anyway.
card back.
But yeah, like I don't know, let's slowly get it. Oh, we got viewers jumped up like crazy. Let's just get into it. I'm pretty sure we'll have anecdotes as we go, and rather than waste the first 20 minutes sharing those anecdotes, let's just throw them in as we go.
All right.
So, Thanksgiving's coming up. First of all, actually, before we start, what's everyone doing for Thanksgiving? That feels like an honest thing we should just bring up. Is everyone eating food somewhere?
Food with fam. Food with fam.
I've got some friends that I'm going over to, but if that falls through, me and Jesse plan to make burgers, wings, French fries, and milkshakes.
That is an interesting Thanksgiving meal.
The
It's
real
actually
American heroes.
like
No, the real American heroes are sub sandwiches.
I
You ain't
wanted.
wrong.
I went out and I bought I buy a turkey breast to make every year for like myself, roommates, and friends or whatever. And last year, because of the pandemic, like I just was making for myself and roommates, and it was too much. Like even just like I would buy a breast and other shit. So I just got like some turkey, like the prepackaged like turkey cutlet, not cutlets, but like it's just a breast, but it's like cut up. It's not a whole breast. And doing some of that. So that's my Thanksgiving plans. But I have all the shit. I'm doing stuffing and mashed potatoes. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. Anyone else want to throw your Thanksgiving food ideas in the thing? If you want to yell at us, do it in chat. It'll be great. And chat's going awesome right now. So let's just jump into it.
We'll be here all day if we added. Let's go with this. We ran behind last time.
Yeah.
Let's
We always run behind on the tier lists.
yeah, because I was gonna say like, and we even cut some of these items out. So let's just get to it. Let's start with cornbread.
A.
I'd put it in A or B. I like cornbread. Now that I live in the South, I got opinions about cornbread, which I never thought I'd have. But
No,
cornbread is good. Cornbread's pretty easy. Cornbread sticking with corn for the season, pretty. What's great about cornbread is southern cornbread is kind of dry and not very sweet, so it soaks up like gravy really good.
I
That's
can't. I'll be real with you. I've mentioned this in the past. I can't. I like cornbread on its own, and this is kind of screwing up my vote. And this is gonna be our first argument. I don't know why I picked cornbread to start with, but my least favorite part of a corn dog is the bread. But for
well, I
some
mean,
weird reason, I love the hot dog inside of a cornbread. I've mentioned in the cornbread inside a cornbread. I mentioned this before. Like when I was younger, I would make a hot dog in the oven or whatever. Then I'd peel off all the bread and then put that in a bun.
Why wouldn't you just make a hot dog then?
Because it tastes. First of all, it's like kind of like boiled inside of something, but then there's
You
the
can boil hot
residual
dogs.
flavor of the corn in the hot dog that's not quite corn. I don't know. It makes sense to me. Anyways, what was your rating, Janet?
like a B or an A. I like a cornbread. Cornbread pretty good.
I say
So we
B,
got
so let's put it in B.
yeah.
I know Photaku had an A, but I think two B, mid B,
Yeah.
and an A and a B. Yeah, that sounds good.
I got outvoted, so it stands.
There's a lot of
it's
corn on this.
not bad.
There's a lot of corn on this list, but but just
Corn
real
is
fast.
seasonal.
One thing I want to say. One pet peeve I have of mine when it comes to rolls. The next one we'll do is dinner rolls, by the way. Is dinner rolls is on here, right?
Yes. It's bread rolls, but
bread
yes.
rolls. Okay. Now I'm gonna say S because I fucking love bread.
Hold on.
But hold on. If it's a Hawaiian roll, I'm giving that a fucking D. I can't stand the fucking the sweet. I can't stand sweet rolls.
I guess we have a problem because we are like exact the opposite. If we were talking Hawaiian bread or sweet AF rolls, then they would be S. But bread rolls, not all bread rolls are built the same. So if it's neither of those two, if it ain't warm and fluffy, and if it doesn't have some sweet to go along with it is D because it is dry. It is terrible. How can you eat your gravy with that? That makes no sense to me.
It's nasty.
I think that the King's Hawaiian rolls have definitely taken a tumble in quality over the years. I don't know if it's that they have proliferated to the point that they're everywhere and then some, and also now you can get like Hawaiian just loaf bread in some places.
But it's
But like,
simplicity itself. It's literally just the bread. It is sweet. You can just nobble on it
I
really
don't
quick,
know if I
so it doesn't ask too
necessarily.
much of you. It's only a little bit of bread, so you have more room from all your other stuff. Instead of taking whole ass dry potential roll, no flavor, you could probably put your gravy on it. But that's more bread that you're eating. That's less space to eat stuff.
Okay, Photaku, just to let you know, I'm
Yeah.
clipping that like last whole bread thing.
Thank you. You can totally extort me and trademark it, and I will never see money the same way Taylor Swift doesn't see any money off of her masters. Also, praise her new album of her original. I guess it's awesome.
All I keep
Okay,
seeing
so
today online is that Taylor Swift has like all of her ex-boyfriends are getting shit, and I'm like, is she still doing that? Is that meme still real?
Well,
all of her songs
Well,
are
'cause she
Yeah.
got
you-
her songs. She got the masters and she remastered them.
They
And now
say-
she can add like extra "fuck this guy" in it.
if you look closely in the new Spider-Man trailer, you can see Mysterio talk about how his life with Taylor Swift was great until Tom Holland showed up.
Oh my god. Anyway, what's your ranking on the dinner rolls, Janet? Do you have any?
I'm gonna give them a B across the board because I've had some very good ones. Like I just bought some at a farmer's market over the weekend that are delicious, and then I've had some real bad ones. But on the whole, they're small, they're inoffensive, they have a job to do, and that is to soak up gravy. And
So
most
sorry.
of them are pretty good at that.
What was
I
that?
will admit, like, we'll go with B because I think all of us like have such varying things, and Janet is the only middle road one, which should be like middle anyway. But I still say, like, thank God this list doesn't have Hawaiian rolls because we would be fighting there. They're actually made in
Oh,
like
that'd
somewhat
be the
near
whole
me.
hour.
They're actually made somewhat near me. There's this Walmart I go to, and the King's Hawaiian Bakery is like right there, like the factory. And I'm like, I hate you so much. You've ruined so many holidays. I can't tell you how many times I've gone, and like I'll see bread, and it's not packaged anymore. It's just on the table to grab, like at a dinner function, and I'll sniff it, and I'm like, because you can tell like it's gonna be sweet by sniffing. I'm like, it's a King's Hawaiian, and yeah, ugh, ugh,
Yeah,
ugh.
I know I don't get a vote, but my I would definitely put this like S or A. And I just have an anecdote of having to make bread rolls like a year or two ago, and it was right around the time I started watching Great British Bake Off, and so all I could hear like as I was making it was Paul Hollywood behind me going, "Overbaked,
Overbaked.
overapproved."
Hold on, I need to fix something real fast, but I'm still here. What's the next one? You guys could argue while I go grab something real fast. You know what? This is weird because I saw this on the list and I almost wanted to take it out because it felt not Christmassy. But then I saw a lot of people discussing this recently. Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese is a staple of Thanksgiving here in the South, to the point that like I'll see a whole bunch of, small restaurants and home chefs be like, "Hey, here's my Thanksgiving pre-order list," and most of them have a mac and cheese somewhere. Sometimes it's like
Yeah.
seafood mac and cheese, and that just seems
Ew.
intense.
Well, what
And
kind
I
of seafood?
guess lobster, shrimp,
No.
crab.
That's even
And I'm like,
worse.
well, I guess it also boils down to, are we talking like your out of a box mac and cheese? Are we talking a stovetop mac and cheese? Or are we talking a baked mac and cheese? Because baked and stovetop are almost two entirely different dishes.
I think it's generally
Exactly.
baked. I know that
Yeah.
like lobster mac and cheese is like something that's like getting really fancy or like really up the.
Fancy.
Yeah, not. Did I? No, okay, I did not make it.
Really expensive is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, like you see people making out like shows and stuff, and it's apparently really good.
I'm pretty sure we're talking baked mac and cheese. I actually have gone to a Friendsgiving, and it's funny because I was talking all this shit about taking it off, and I have gone to a Friendsgiving where the person who was like taking me to it, like, because we like carpooling, they actually didn't buy anything. So on the way there, they went and they're like, and they went to the Albertsons. They're like, I'm gonna go buy a big tub of mac and cheese, and they didn't have it. TLDR, we ended up having to buy a Stouffer's thing and making it in their oven. Thank God that was free. But I'm like, you really did this? You're buying this on the way there on the day before Thanksgiving. I'm like, are you serious?
That's how you know it's fresh. It's fresh, store fresh.
I know, but no, it's Stouffer's fresh because that's what we ended up. It actually was really good. I actually love Stouffer's mac and cheese. By the way, best mac and cheese ever is Bob Evans mac and cheese. You could buy it at some places pre-made.
Bob Evans make pretty good mac and cheese.
It's
I don't know. I have opinions about Cheetos mac and cheese, but that's for another time.
Well, anyway, since we haven't said letters yet, I'm gonna say even though honestly I love me some mac and cheese. I would say S normally because I just love it, but I'm gonna say A because I feel it doesn't belong in Thanksgiving. I know if you're in the South, but I'm just gonna still say A.
I'm fine with A, so long as it's not the. Oh,
go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna wrap up with so long as it's not like Kraft's mac and cheese and stuff. Like it has to be like you make it yourself. You cut up your own cheddar. You add your own things to it. You oven roast it. That's dope.
You get the big block of Velveeta and just put them.
If you do that,
Nothing
then I will
like
stick
Velveeta.
to. Oh, did the thing?
Did it
switch?
change? Sorry, yeah.
it changed.
Sorry, it keeps my active tab, and I forgot to turn
okay.
on subtitles or closed captioning.
Oh,
Then
it's
I
back
will.
now.
I'm fine with A for Mac. Then
I am also fine with A for Mac because it's pretty solid. It's definitely not the first side dish I would think of for Thanksgiving, but like I said, now that I live in the South, it's such a common staple of holiday meals out here. It's good for all holidays. Backyard cookout, mac and cheese. Thanksgiving, mac and cheese. Arbor Day, mac and cheese.
Now, for some weird reason, I noticed that there's no buttermilk biscuits. Is that what you call them? Like
Well,
those
biscuits are on here.
I mean, biscuits.
Biscuits. I'm
is
stupid.
on
I'm
there.
blind. I'm blind. I'm fucking blind. I'm sorry. Well, we'll do biscuits. I was gonna say let's do white gravy because there's no biscuits, but let's do biscuits first. I
D.
wish I'm not gonna lie. If I'd have known this was here before I had my final stand on dinner rolls, I wouldn't have gone so hard. But it doesn't matter. I still stand by what I said about dinner rolls. Um, but biscuits, I say A. So we got a B from
No,
Photaku and an A from
no,
me.
no, that's enough. It's a D. The only thing that keeps it out of F is the gravy. That's it. I no. If I will literally go bread rolls so hard before I do biscuits. It's not my fave. It's
No,
all
I love
crumbly and stuff.
that's the point. I love a biscuits. Biscuits go in B for biscuit.
No, and
It-
like no, I'm not even gonna lie. This probably sounds like the weirdest thing ever, but for some reason, except that around Thanksgiving, I think most Thanksgiving food is really cheap. So like, I've had a lot of poor moments in my life where, and usually I wouldn't get white gravy. I don't like white gravy. Spoiler alert when we get to that. But a lot of times I'll go to the store and I'll buy like the cheap store brand buttermilk biscuits, and then I'll buy like the cheap little McCormick gravy mix. And then like that'll be my dinner that night, like biscuits and gravy, but not with white gravy. And then if I'm feeling spicy, I'll throw in mash or something like that because mash is even cheaper than all of the stuff I just mentioned. But I fucking love biscuits. Like I could literally probably live off of biscuits if I needed to. Buttermilk ones especially.
Biscuit pretty good. Love a
Yeah,
biscuit.
but like, once again, I gave it an A. The only reason I wouldn't give it an S is because it's not perfect. So we got an A, a B, and a D. God, are we all over the place? What do you say,
Yeah,
JD? Like,
I love biscuits. My dad's from Louisiana, and my mother,
Dad's biscuit.
like when they were still together, my mother would sometimes make biscuits and gravy on the weekend, and oh, so many good memories there. So yeah, A from me. So that's gonna bump it up to a B.
I'll put it at a B because if you got an A, that sounds right. Fataku loses this round again. Actually, he kind of won with dinner rolls because I would have still like I would have put that lower if even now that I'm like not having that fight anymore. But let's go to white gravy.
It's rated B for bread. That's what
B
it's
for
for.
bread.
Yeah,
for
that's
bread.
been
Bread tier.
pretty consistent.
Now, I'm not a huge fan of white gravy. I don't hate it. Actually, I do hate it. Okay, white gravy, I feel like you could fuck up. I've been to places where I've
White-
gone. Go ahead.
White gravy is such an American thing that, like, to tie in with biscuits, anytime I try to explain biscuits and gravy to somebody not in the United States and not, like in Canada,
Mhm.
to this day they think you're making that up. And then you show
What?
them white gravy and they're like, "What is that?" Like my British friend, the first time he had biscuits and gravy, he's like, "I don't understand what's happening here. What is this?"
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. White gravy is different from sausage gravy, right?
Ish. I mean, technically, sausage gravy is a white gravy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
you can make white gravy without sausage. Like ultimately, a white gravy is a cream-based gravy instead of like a heavily stock-based gravy, the way your brown
That's
gravies
true.
are.
Okay. So yeah, because I was just curious because I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these I usually buy pre-prepared, and when I get if I'm doing it myself, if I go to restaurants, if I go to restaurants, probably pre-prepared there too. But a lot of times I'll go to the store and I'll see sausage gravy for sale. I'm like, that looks like white gravy, but why is it called sausage gravy? You know?
Does it have sausage in it?
It has sausage.
I don't
in
know.
it.
Yeah, will I open it
And
up and there'll be
pepper. So
fucking
much pepper.
there'll be a fucking sausage floating in it? But
Yeah.
I don't know. Fun fact, I don't think they serve this anymore, but Carl's Jr. used to have biscuits and gravy as part of the breakfast menu. And there was a brief period in my life where I was mildly obsessed with it. And now before you wonder, like I thought you didn't like white gravy. Now Carl's Jr. was cool. They would just give you like 2 biscuits, like like buttermilk biscuits they would make their sandwiches out of, and then the gravy on the side. And my then girlfriend liked the gravy, so she would like just eat more gravy. And I would just get biscuits and like it was a cheap way to I think that was the only way you could order biscuits by themselves there. Like as a menu item. And it was cheap. I think it was on like the value menu and it was like $2, something like that. But anyways, letter. What do you guys say about white gravy? I'll judge with you guys first.
White gravy is worse than regular gravy. White gravy is a
for
C.
sure. For sure. What do you say, Josh?
Potaku.
I'm like trying to figure. No, I'm not gonna be that negative. I actually like the white gravy, especially when it has the sausage. But it doesn't compare to regular gravy. So I think
And we
C is
shouldn't say-
okay. No, like C or B for me. C or B on the white gravy for me.
Well, if I was really gonna have to like throw my gauntlet down here, I would also say C, just because I don't like it, but I feel like I don't have the strongest opinion on it, and like part of me does, I don't know. Like
Would
in
you
white
say
gravy,
it's mid? Would you say it's
like-
very mid?
yeah, you also get white gravy, but you also get on fucking chicken fried steak, right? So yeah, like
Not chicken
um,
fried steak
Yeah,
is
but
garbage.
I'm not having
I
chicken
hate
fried.
chicken fried steak.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
You're already gonna get something from me.
Ooh.
Don't insult
No, it is a
chicken fried steak and
certified-
make me go even further.
Sir?
White gravy exists. No. It's like the white gravy is the dish and the chicken steak is like the side for it. That's how I find that particular thing. I remember I ate it once, not at Denny's, not anywhere. Went to this what's it called? Hole in the wall at my the town I grew up in, and I'm like, sure, I'll take that. And I remember eating it and just feeling violated because I'm like, what is this steak? It's like so weird. It's like, is it deep fried? Is it really chicken? Why is it so insecure about its identity?
It's not
And why does this
chicken.
gravy have to help?
It's steak that's pounded thin, dredged in flour, and fried like chicken. It
but I
is
don't
amazing.
rare, though.
Chicken fried steak is so important to the state of Texas that we have like a statewide chicken fried steak day.
What the fudgesicles?
It's great. Everywhere has really good chicken fried steak on special, and you're like, gonna eat that 12 times today, and then you have to lie down for a week.
I wish we had chicken
Um,
fried steak on this fucking list.
Okay,
I mean,
maybe I'm just
this will
maybe
be the
California
ultimate
just
of
can't chicken fried steak, maybe. But like, wow.
I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna listen to some Yankee slander some chicken fried steak right now.
Wait, are California's Yankees?
Yeah,
Well,
You
we
might
were
as
Union
well be
State.
exporting to Texas.
Yeah, it's like, oh man.
Okay,
Let's
before we
move
move
on.
on,
Oh,
had
give
I
it
been
a C.
asked,
Oh,
I
yeah, we
would give
gave
it
it a
an
C. That seems fair.
yeah. Before we move on,
The C's fine.
I would give it an S because I just love white gravy. I cannot stand brown gravy.
What?
Whoa.
By the way,
I didn't see that
fun-
coming.
fun fact.
Is it too salty?
I just don't like the taste. I don't know what it
Fair.
is.
Well,
I just have never liked it.
Let's cover brown gravy next. But fun fact, on my I wrote all these out into a little document sheet for myself so I could read them easier for my own purposes. For some weird reason, there's no typos on it at all, except for brown gravy. I wrote brown gravel, and I feel like that's me low key talking shit, even though I love brown gravy. Brown gravel. I'm okay. I'll just start and I'll cut to the chase. I'll cut straight to the chase right now. I say it's an S.
Yes.
I would put it at an S. Like, I love a brown gravy. Brown
It's
gravy goes
fucking-
on poutine, goes on stuffing, goes on mashed potatoes.
I
Your
fucking
meat
love
It goes
to
it.
your
on
bread.
Jollibee, dude.
you
Brown
know-
gravy on Jollibee.
Yeah, they give you the tub for your fried chicken at Jollibee. You could probably put it on vanilla ice cream, and I'd eat that once.
Oh,
It's so
sorry.
Don't tempt me,
feels
that
so
might be
unhealthy because like I
interesting to
put it on
try out.
everything. Like
It doesn't sound like the worst thing I've ever eaten, so I'm just like, yeah, I'd eat that. Oh man, we need to rush through this list because I need to tell you guys about possibly the worst thing I've ever eaten in the last like 3 weeks.
Okay, but
it's brown gravy. But we
I'd
give
like
it
to
an
add-
S. Oh, you
Yes,
give it
we
a
all
D.
put-
We heard your shit opinion.
no.
already, James.
I just want to add one addendum to that. I will eat brown gravy on poutine.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the only thing I will eat it with.
Poutine is awesome. I went to this like Hawaiian fusion restaurant that had like a poutine. What the fuck was it? Doesn't matter. But I had this weird poutine dish, and I'm like, I love poutine. And then all my friends were like, that's not real poutine. Like all my southern friends were talking all the shit to me. I'm gonna look up the picture later on, and if you're watching on YouTube, I'll have it somewhere over here in the corner, and I'll be like, that's the thing I had that's poutine. And then all my southern friends, because I posted it on Facebook, they're like, that's not real poutine. And I'm surprised Janet didn't join in on that. But anyways, we'll come back to that.
You said you're Southern friends?
Yes.
Oh,
Isn't
that
poutine
sounds
Southern?
weird. No, it's
Or isn't it like
Canadian.
Louisiana? Oh, is it Canadian?
It's Canadian.
Poutine is Canadian. It's so far north that it's shocking I can get poutine in Texas.
I wasn't in the Hawaiian place for starters, but anyways.
Funsies.
No, I thought it was
I mean, 'cause, like,
Louisiana-y, I guess,
Are
because
you
it's also
thinking? Are you think?
poutine. Well, with
Are
the
you
gr- with,
thinking about Loco Moco, which also a
no,
point in brown
no.
gravy's flavor?
Okay, well, I do
Favor.
think, and to be fair, now that you mentioned Loco Moco, I think that's what they were trying to like make their own like almost a cross dish, and that's why. But it wasn't Loco Moco. There was like no egg and shit like that. Isn't there egg in Loco Moco? But
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
it's rice, hamburger,
yeah, it
gravy,
wasn't.
egg.
There was hamburger, but it wasn't rice or egg. But but yeah, this poutine, I could have sworn it was Louis. That was even the person I was eating with said it was Southern. Like, apparently, none of us know what poutine is. I mean, none of my people, not you. But yes,
Yeah, I was gonna say your people don't know what poutine is. I have been to Canada and I have eaten a poutine there.
here's
Weird.
I sadly have
Right,
not had
Megan?
poutine directly from Canada, but I went to school in upstate New York, and we had good poutine
No,
there.
close enough.
Yeah.
now here's my most controversial opinion so far. I mean maybe because Hawaiian rolls wasn't its own thing, so this will be the one that I'm really gonna like stick my foot down on. Put my foot down. Stick my foot down on. Put my foot down on. Now honey baked ham. I can't stand ham. Now I do like me some pork, but I can't like pork products in various ways. But I don't like ham for some reason. I think because it's too sweet, especially honey baked ham.
You have to take that back
I'm giving it an
because
F.
Jamie Lee Curtis did not die for your sins just for you to say that
giving it an
about honey baked
Wait, what?
ham, dude.
I'm giving it an F. I'm giving it a G if I could.
No, bruh. It's a total B at least. It's gotta be like at that B
It's
area if it's not an
definitely
A.
a B.
It's
Ham
an
is so
F.
I love ham. Ham is so good. I'm in charge of the ham for the Thanksgiving I'm going to.
I can't stand ham. Like who the
Love when you shove the little cloves in it and then you pick the cloves out when you're done. You're like, yeah.
we actually since we're not doing this for like Christmas, I'll just say it now. When I was younger, I used to love going to Christmas like dinner with my family because we would always have like it was just Thanksgiving too. Like we would have a turkey again and ham. It would be like the same spread. But at some point, as like the years progressed, in my adult life, my family, whenever they would have Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner, they only had ham, which I think it is more traditional, but they only had ham, and I'm like, I guess I'm not eating tonight. It's like I guess I'm just not gonna go anymore, and I'm not even gonna lie. Low key, that's one of the reasons I stopped going to Christmas, like any Christmas gatherings with my family, is because they only had ham. It literally broke up my family. Ham
Okay, so
ruined my family life.
I guess that's a
Two
pretty
Bs.
strong argument.
Well, I think it has to go and see if it's two B's and an F, but still,
yeah, I was gonna say it's on the cusp between C and D, I think, but I'm going to like weigh in and break that tie first towards a C. I don't particularly care for it, but it's okay.
it's not it's not a G.
It's not a G.
Wait, you never put mac and cheese where it was supposed to go. I just realized. I
No,
forgot
you
where
put
it was
it A.
Oh,
It's an A.
What is that thing that looks like mac and cheese next to the fucking the cranberry sauce? What is that?
Cream corn?
Oh, well, let's do that next. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Cream corn. Oh, you mean down
wait,
there?
Corn.
Is
With
cream
some
corn
cream.
that? Yeah, I was gonna say, is cream corn like when you put corn in white gravy?
No, actually.
Oh,
It's you take some of the corn and you kind of like blend it with some cream and some butter and some flour to make a sauce. So you kind of just get like weird. It's like a corn sludge. It's
Ew.
fine, but corn is like I like corn, but corn is really sweet, and creamed corn kind of ups the sweetness to
Yeah,
an
I mean-
unpleasant level. It doesn't have a great texture. It doesn't have a great flavor. However, you can use it to make pretty good cornbread.
it's corn pottage with some corn. Yeah.
With-
I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
gonna lie.
not.
this-
I'm gonna give it a D. It's not great.
I'm not. I was gonna say like I was gonna say without even trying it, I want to give that a D. Actually, I'm sure I've had it. because all these I think I've had at some point. Like I've had cranberry sauce, even though we've never had that. Like it's like kind of a very white person thing, you know. Like we're not white enough, I think, to have. I love how the cranberry sauce. No, let's jump ahead. The cranberry sauce in the picture is literally like just from the can. Like it looks like it's still in the cylindrical thing and everything. Like they didn't cut it up or anything for the photo. But anyways, Photaku, what are your views on candy corn before we move to cranberry sauce?
You mean creamed corn?
Cream corn.
Candy.
What's candy corn?
Candy corn would have been the last month.
So
I guess that's an F.
Creamed candy corn. Oof.
yeah, that's diabetes. That's just straight up diabetes.
know.
So I don't know. I was just gonna give it a C. So like, if you want to move it to D, that's fine. I've never had like the cream corn that was so bomb that I felt like, yes, this is awesome. I've always had cream corn to be like a mixed bag. I either have like a meh or I have like a, oh, that was pretty dope, but not enough dopes to be like, this is out of C range for me.
Cream corn.
Okay, so what were our? So we had a
We're gonna give
C.
we're gonna get a
Well, you
wait.
guys gave it D,
Give it a D,
so like,
give it a D.
Yeah.
if you drag
Look
it
at the
down there or
first
not.
Sorry, I'm updating my own list. So I know what's left because I can't read that list because I'm an old man and I'm blind.
Yes, Manuel, we know.
So let's do cranberry sauce. 'Cause I mentioned that earlier. I've always hated cranberry sauce, and there was a point in my life where I remember I'll never forget this. The very first time it's also a weird dish that my family has stopped ever bringing in. For the record, I haven't gone to a family Thanksgiving in like 10 years. But when I did go, it was something that we always did when I was really young. And then about like my middle school years, I stopped doing it. But one of the first times I ever remember trying it when I was in elementary school. And when I went back to school after our little break, you know, like that Monday or whatever, the teacher was like, "Everyone have fun at Thanksgiving? Did you guys eat any good food? I love cranberry sauce." And I raised my hand and I'm like, "Cranberry sauce is terrible." And the teacher got like mildly upset with me. But that's my cranberry sauce story. I can't fucking stand it. It's fucking terrible. And like, yeah.
Cranberry sauce serves a purpose, and it is that it is usually the only acidic thing you are eating in a very, very rich, heavy, dense, salted meal otherwise.
Now I've never
Um,
seen anyone make it in my life. Is it like
I
Jello? Because like I always see it come from the can, and it has a
I've
consistency like
I've
Jello, kind of.
I've made it before, and it's definitely more of like a runnier sauce. I've got a bottle of stuff I bought from Costco that's a chipotle like cranberry raspberry sauce that's actually really good, and I just heat that up and use that instead. Like if you get it out of a can, it's like a Jello slice. But I think if you make it yourself, I think it's worth making yourself, and then you actually have like a spoonable sauce that does genuinely make some things better. But you wouldn't have this issue if you just had some sort of bright acidic something somewhere else in your meal. So cranberry sauce gets a lot of. It has to put the team on its back, and it's just not good enough to carry that weight.
You're gonna carry that weight.
Mhm.
Oh
Cowboy
man,
Bebop out this Friday or
Faye's,
tomorrow. Sorry.
Faye's not gonna
Yes.
Faye's not gonna carry that weight.
Oh man. I would say that
Anyway,
if it's the Jello, it's a D for me. If it's a puree jam, that shit is a certified S because when it's just right, it's so awesome. And I'm gonna be honest, as a Mexican, I haven't really seen cranberry sauce really at any of my Thanksgivings. And when it came to experiencing school-based like Thanksgiving things, it was like, yeah, we have this like kind of jello-y thing, and I'm just kind of like, I'm not feeling it as much. What the?
You
Oh,
are
no.
no longer Manuel, Fotaku.
No,
For a second there,
sorry.
you are Manuel.
By the way,
Okay.
I have no
That was
idea
weird.
what happened. My computer, my internet didn't die. Just Discord froze me out for a minute. Sorry.
That was weird.
It didn't like me talking shit about cranberry sauce. Anyway, no.
I don't know. I think I gave it a bad take, then
Oh,
nothing happened.
For the record, I say F, but hold on, real fast. I wanted to mention. I don't know if you guys covered this already, because Janet was starting to say it. Why is it that whenever I see it, it's always like molded from the can, like that is?
because people just like cut open the can and let that boy slide
Ooh.
out.
That is the most America thing I've ever heard. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I am not wrong.
No,
Like
no,
you,
ain't.
I will see people like they they will open the can, they'll let it slide out, and they will cut that into slices before
Well,
they
that's
actually like chop it up and heat it up into some sort of actual usable sauce.
that's what I was gonna say. Like typically, whenever I saw it, it was just like see, that's the way I've always seen it served. Like it's on like a platter, just like a plate, just like that, but it's sliced up. You take a slice, and then you like because all the food. Whenever I go to a family thing or anything, because it's always like a time management issue. So a lot of the stuff is mildly not completely fresh and warm. So you have to like heat it up again, and then when you heat it up, then your sauce turns more saucy. But usually it starts looking like that. Like you just have Jello. Like you have like a fucking like the worst kind of like Jello salad or what the fuck those things are called. Like when you have like when they put like savory foods inside of Jello. Anyway,
I would like to state I have inherited a bunch of vintage cookbooks, and let me tell you about some Jello monsters.
that's nasty.
Speaking of
Oh
cookbooks,
boy!
Speaking of cookbooks, and because I bothered to see a little bit of last time's stream, I have our savior chef Gordon Ramsay for Manuel. Eh?
Oh my god.
Mm.
That was a gift from a friend to my girlfriend, so I'm just saying that. But still, I thought that was funny when that was brought up.
Please put my cookbook down. She's all upset. If you damage that, you will pay. That's funny.
Due to conflict
fun
of
fact-
interest, I cannot say anything about this.
Fun fact: if you watch, if you're a fan of Gordon Ramsay, both of his, I think all of his cooking shows, including Hell's Kitchen and then his Kitchen Nightmares, UK and American, are all for free legally to watch on YouTube. Fun fact. Like
Dude,
I forget
honestly,
3 different channels, but yeah.
if you have anything, Pluto TV is free, and it's just 24/7 streaming television that you don't even have to sign up for. Yeah, you have to watch ads, but you get the fun of channel surfing. But they have a Kitchen Nightmares and a Hell's Kitchen channel, uncensored 24/7.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna. Thanks for bringing that up. That's the funny thing. And because they're on YouTube, and it's probably the same people who like let it go on Pluto. They're all uncensored. So you get all the cursing and all the like what the fuck is this shit?
It sounds wrong without a bleep. Honestly,
yeah, it does.
It doesn't like he just says fuck, and I'm like, I don't know if I liked that.
Are you
I
fucking
agree with
daft?
you.
Like, whoa, calm down.
It feels weird. Like there's certain skits that when you hear it with the bleep, it works, and then when you don't, it feels like it undercuts it in a weird way. It's weird. It's
yeah,
really weird.
it makes it less fun.
Okay, sorry.
Give me the next
We
list.
got on this Gordon Ramsay
Cranberry
chain.
sauce
Back
is
to the
like a C or a D.
Oh, I forgot we were still doing cranberry
D.
sauce.
C for cranberry. D for this is bad.
Yeah, we'll do D because I said F. I can't fucking stand cranberry sauce. By the way, next one is one that I actually wanted to take out because not only do I hate these in general, but I also don't think they're Thanksgiving. But they're in, so we're just gonna do it. Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts are an S
This
if you
is
make them
hard.
right, but it's so
Yes,
this is
easy
hard.
to screw them up.
I've had like whenever I make Brussels sprouts, and most places where I have Brussels sprouts, I give it an S. But I had candied Brussels sprouts, and I never thought that I could never finish my Brussels sprouts before.
Have I just never had good Brussels sprouts?
yes.
Possibly.
Ow.
Like I like Brussels sprouts so much I'm growing them right now.
Yes,
You
they
know,
are an AS vegetable. I love them.
Well,
But
you see,
not
Manuel,
candied. Candied, they're terrible.
It's ultimately that, like many green vegetables,
Oops.
they're very easy and very commonly cooked very badly. So you get all the bad things of the vegetable. Like, I never understood why people hated vegetables as much as they did until I went to school in Ohio. And then I had vegetables there, and I'm like, I get it. This is bad. You're right.
So I'll be nice and I'll just jump out of the running because maybe I just haven't. I'm not gonna lie. I've only had them twice in my life, and both times
You
were.
want to come here and have some Brussels sprouts? I'll make you some Brussels sprouts if you
Yeah.
come here.
And both times I'll admit they were when I never was I hate vegetables kid, but they were when I was a kid. So it was probably they were just bad,
Well,
like as in made badly. So,
well,
like by
Manuel?
whoever the fuck was making them. Yes.
Yeah, you see, when you were a kid back in the Precambrian era, Brussels sprouts weren't as good as they are today. But
'Cause they had to be like,
sometime in the last, I don't know, percent of your life, someone realized, hey, they're not that good. Why don't I breed them to make them better? So now modern Brussels sprouts are also just like at a better starting place than they used to
Also
be.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, one
and they're
of
definitely an A food for me.
We'll put
one
it
of
at
my
S 'cause they got
favorite
both S's. Go ahead.
yeah, one of my favorite salads out here is actually like a shaved raw Brussels sprout salad that oddly enough also has cranberries in it, and it's very seasonally appropriate, and it's
Holy
delicious
cow.
and has bacon and duck egg. It is so good.
What the hell? Can I have
Just-
this?
It's such a good salad.
So the
Like, I'm just
cranberry
thinking about
is
it
the
going.
is the sauce, so there's no like mayonnaise or stuff, right?
No, what
Ew.
it actually has like a really
You know
tangy
both of
mustard
those.
vinaigrette, but it has like dried chopped cranberries in it.
I'm making
It-
I'm not making it for for-
It's a pretty banger salad.
speaking of pies, actually a lot of pie. We should probably do a pie next. Now I have a love-hate relationship with most of these pies, but there's one I don't like at all, and we'll start with that one. Pumpkin pie.
I can't
Pumpkin
will say
pie is the
this.
worst use of pumpkin.
Oh, for sure. I will say this: I'm not a pumpkin hater. I'm not one of those like, oh, pumpkin spice, but you know, I like the memes, but I'm not one of those who just hates on it because it's pumpkin. I just don't like pumpkin pie. It's like, what is this?
Pumpkin
gonna-
pie is genuinely not good. Ooh, anyway, everyone else get your thoughts out because I have to tell you about the worst thing I have eaten. It is pumpkin pie related.
Okay, go
F
ahead,
up,
Josh.
F. That's it.
F. I give it an F too. What do you say? What did you give it, Janet? I forgot what you said.
I'll give it like a D because like I'll eat a pumpkin pie, but
We'll throw it at the
it's-
F because there's two F's and a D. Well, you go
I
and tell
also
your
want to
story.
say that I'm not generally a pie person, so you could take everything I say about pie with a grain of salt. Just saying.
That is true. That's me.
fair.
Like my favorite pie is like a chocolate meringue, like a chocolate pie, like just like basically a
Yeah,
cake.
like a coconut cream pie. Those are good. Why isn't that on this list? Why aren't we ranking pies? We're messing up.
No,
We
see, we
should-
say
we
that for
should-
March.
That's what I was
That's
saying.
true.
Like, we should...
That's
Why
our
did
Pie
you
Day
like
episode.
that?
Pies
There
all
you
the
go.
time.
Anyways, go and tell your story while I look up if our day's on Pie Day. Go ahead.
So, as a person who genuinely likes pumpkin and enjoys pumpkin spice things, I have ingested some, of course, very gimmicky, very memey foods. Recently, I bought the pumpkin pie cup noodle.
Did you put the fucking whipped cream?
With okay, so I bought these because it was under $1. I was morbidly curious. It is a sauce noodle, not a soup noodle. It smelled so much like pumpkin pie while it was in the microwave that I started freaking out. And then I'm reading the cup as it's cooling. And it's like, for an extra treat, add some whipped cream after you're
Yes.
done cooking this. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh no, I am mentally unprepared because a lot of the things in pumpkin spice, like the spice mixture, are not dissimilar to spices that go into a pho broth. So I'm like, I like pho. I like pumpkin spice. This can't be the worst. No, what I got was a weird dessert noodle. What it tasted like was like so instant ramen doesn't really have much of a flavor. It's maybe lightly salted.
Yeah.
But imagine you take those and they're hot and you take like a little scoop, not a lot of a scoop, but a little scoop of like pumpkin pie filling and you mix these things together and that's what it tasted like.
Ugh.
I was not mentally prepared for this to be pumpkin pie but noodle.
Mm.
And now I have 5 more of these and I'm like, well, I guess one time I'll make it with chicken stock and one time I'll add the whipped cream and do the crime and maybe I'll take I bet if you took some and you draped them like if you made like a sundae and you draped a couple of these noodles across, maybe that would be delicious. But oh man, oh no. Look, I am all for eating weird things and eating meme foods, and I'm gonna tell you right now, not even once, kids.
You know,
Random.
yeah, because I've been seeing that a lot on TikTok where people are just incredulous about the people who try it with the whipped cream, and I'm just like, that looks disgusting. And it's funny because the first time I saw it on TikTok, I thought they were creating the meme, but then someone else showed that it tells you on the back of it to do that.
It tells you on the cup because
Yeah,
Jesse's like, it's saying you should eat this with whipped cream, and I'm like,
that's disgusting.
yeah, it is. I will give it this. A lot of foods try to emulate the flavor of pumpkin pie and don't really do great at it. This is the first time I have had a food that has emulated what a
Ugh.
pumpkin pie tastes like. so well, and I'm like, well, they did that right, I guess. I
They
don't know
were
if they
so
should have.
preoccupied with
Well,
what they could
Yeah.
that they
they
never stopped to
didn't.
bother whether or not they should.
Um, now
Anyways,
let's get
might
back to
actually
some
be the worst thing I've
pies.
ever eaten, and I have eaten some grotesque things.
What's everyone's view on a pecan pie? I know it's pecans, but I like to say pecan.
As
You
a
already
now
know my
Texan, that's our pie.
my pie. Once again, I'm biased, so
Yeah.
it's slow not just because I don't eat pie, but it's also pecan, I guess. And I just
It's
consider them
pecan?
less the inferior what's it called, walnut look-alike thing. They're thinner, they're a little harder.
I've never pecan.
Pecan.
You say that.
Listen, I can't
Pecan?
You say that way too many
Pecan?
ways.
Pecan? Ah! We grow these here. Stop it.
Well, wait, which one's correct? Or which is more correct? Pecans.
Pecan? Stop it. Pecan is the least correct.
Mind you, that's a really old reference. So kid you not.
I think when we were talking about pies once.
Yeah, but fun fact, you ever wonder where some of my weird mispronunciation things is just like a really old reference to one time somebody said something weird and we just don't let it die. We never let it die. And
Never let it die.
and every so often it comes up a lot. It came up a lot when Animal Crossing was out because one of my favorite villagers is named Pekin. And then whenever I would say, "Oh, look, it's Pekin," they're like, "What did you just say?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's the way I say pecan. It's Pekin." Anyways,
Anyways,
Um,
so a nearby dessert shop that I really like makes
gonna
a
give it a C,
bourbon
by the way.
pecan pie, and I'm gonna give that baby an S.
I'm
oh,
gonna give it a NA because my opinion is very biased against that one. Even
what's your
more than
opinion?
it's more than
There's
pumpkin
a
pie.
there's
Yeah,
a
pecan
lot
pies
of
do vary a
pecan
lot more, I
pies
think.
around here,
I
and
think that varies
they're
a
all
lot
good.
more than pumpkin because I think all pumpkin kind of just tastes like because pumpkin pie is just like a big dish of pumpkin, you know. But there are things you could do to a
Yeah,
pecan pie to make it different.
well, yeah, you can make it chocolate, you can make
Yeah,
it caramel, you can make it bourbon. Like you can get so many weird flavors of pecan pie out here, and they're all delicious. But
what's your
also, it's
oh,
probably the worst pie for you.
oh, it's all nothing but sugar. It's all like fucking sweet
It's
thing,
like sugar goo and nuts.
too hard to eat and too obnoxious to make. Put in the egg too earlier and it tastes burnt. That is true. What's your tiebreaker opinion, JD?
I also have to go NA because I don't think I've ever actually had pecan pie.
Oh, well then we'll give
Really?
it we'll give
Huh.
it an A. We'll knock it down because of I think I said
Yeah.
C. We'll give it an A.
That's
And
fair.
even my
I
C isn't
accept
the
that.
strongest of opinions. Now, I do have a strong opinion on apple pie. Um, only because I
Apple
kind of
pie
like it.
sucks.
Oh, I thought we were gonna be okay on this. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna like die on this bridge defending apple pie. But you can make an apple pie that I'll eat and not regret. Because I don't like pies, especially fruit pies. I also like. This sounds really
I
stupid again. I like eating the crust of an apple pie when the filling is gone. Like I might scrape out the filling and like, ooh, this is good. Like
oh yeah, you
vaguely
like
apple flavored
just like
crust.
the crust with like a layer of apple jam on
Yeah,
it.
basically,
You
basically,
want an apple pie pop tart is what you want.
basically. So I'm gonna give this a B.
I'm going to give it a D because I think like pumpkin pies are ubiquitous, but they all taste like pumpkin pie. Apple pie, because there's so many
Oh, that's another
factors that
thing.
can go into an
Yeah.
apple pie, it's so easy to make a very bad apple pie. Did you use the wrong apples? Did you
Yeah,
forget to cook the stuff beforehand? Did
apparently
you
red
peel
delicious
your apple?
apples are the worst
Bad.
apples to make an apple pie with, and that's the
They're
most
the worst
most
apples to do
ubiquitous
anything
apple.
with.
But that's the most like ubiquitous apple that stores sell is red delicious.
Yeah.
But that apparently makes the worst pie. I didn't know this
It
until
makes
like
the
I
worst
made it.
everything.
Yeah, well that is like you can't use that for baking. You need like a I don't know my apples, but you
A
need a different
a
apple.
a Granny
There we
Smith
go.
is usually your best bet for an apple pie.
Just always go to grandma for baked goods. So I guess we're getting an A from Josh. What did you say again? Janet, I forgot what you said for apple pie.
I was gonna give it a C,
Oh,
good
see,
sir.
I'm gonna give it a
Before you
B.
start putting pie in
More-
my mouth. Just
Pie.
saying.
No, because this is on here twice, and I want to go to the next one. So would
Okay,
you
sorry.
give it? We got a C, a B, and would you give it, Janet?
A D.
So C.
C.
So a
Okay.
C.
Now the next one, it's on here twice, by the way. So the next one is apple pie ice cream, and I think that means apple pie with
I
ice cream on
think that
top,
means
right?
Yeah.
No, I think that's the apple. I think that is actually apple pie flavored ice cream, which is a different beast, and I like better than apple pie.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
the
gonna-
picture is
I'm
apple pie a la mode.
Yeah, if it's all on mode, now I'll admit this is stupid of me. This goes back to the Pop-Tart analogy Janet gave me earlier. I kind of like the way that the ice cream tastes. I might just eat the ice cream and go get another scoop of ice cream, then eat more ice cream. Just keep eating ice cream off the pie until I eat enough of the pie that I feel like I ate the pie, even though I was really just eating ice cream with bits of apple pie in it. So I'm gonna give that an S.
If we're talking about apple pie a la mode, I will give it a B because the ice cream does make the apple pie way more bearable.
Oh yeah, freshly baked
Uh,
warm apple pie and cold. Oh, that's so great. It's all melty. Anyways,
I will go for if we're talking about the ice cream or a la mode with the pie, then I'll move that one up to like B or A. It actually tastes pretty nice when it's like the warm apple pie and the crust and everything. And then
yeah.
you just scoop it with like the ice cream. It's that one. That one I like a lot.
Like I said, I've done this many a time where like I said, I'll just keep putting. Well, I usually put 2 scoops. Not like I eat like a whole tub of ice cream, but like I'll basically just be eating ice cream, and then when it's done, it'll be a gooey mess underneath the ice cream, and I'll have eaten some of the pie, but there'll be at least half of it still there. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. You know. I think we got an S, an A, and a B. So I guess it's an A, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any more pies before we move on?
You're
we can
just
go
trying
back
to
the
knock them all
actual
out. What
foods.
about the chocolate looking one? That reminds me
Oh, we're
of
not doing that
cake.
one.
No
We're
Buckeye
not doing
Pie.
it?
That's
Okay.
a two.
Okay, never mind.
See,
Fine,
regional.
fine.
Okay, Buckeye Pie is just a giant Reese's cup.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I actually
Yeah.
looked it up. I looked it up before we went live because I wasn't sure what it was. We'll leave the other pie things for later because I don't know if we're going to do them at all. We'll talk about peach cobbler though because that is a very Thanksgiving-y thing because fun fact, I remember like the very first time I ever had a Friendsgiving, my then girlfriend brought well, I guess I did it too, but like we came as a couple. She brought peach cobbler. And that was the first time I ever had it, and it was good. I'm gonna give that a B. I know it sounds stupid. I just said it was good. It's good. I don't like peaches though. Peaches like one of my. I don't like peaches in general because I think they're a little too sweet for me. I don't like sweet foods. I've mentioned that before. I'm weird like this. So it's a little overly sweet just as a peach.
As a peach.
Yeah, like as a real peach, and then we start adding sugar to that. I'm like, okay, great, calm down, everyone. Like everyone take a step back. But I'm gonna give that a B.
Calm down.
I'm
Peach
gonna give it
cobbler.
a C. Peach cobbler is better than apple pie.
Oh, I kind of agree with that. Wait, did I give it? Oh, yeah, this is still fair. Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
give
give
it
it a
an A. I like the peach cobbler. It's actually pretty delicious. Has
So
to be eaten first though. I don't like that thing warm. What's it called? Warmed up again. It's better eaten like when
oh,
it's
Yeah.
I
there.
agree for sure. Where's that going? That's a B, I guess. Is that
Yeah, I
average?
think it's an A,
Yeah,
B, and C. So
yeah, so a B.
there is also lemon meringue on pie on here if we want to do that, but I don't know if that's not
Ooh,
Thanksgiving enough.
lemon meringue. It's not Thanksgiving-y enough, to be completely honest. I think we
Yeah,
could leave
I
that
think
at
we'll
the
leave it
end.
there.
Yeah.
We'll leave that if we have time. Let's go back to some favorite foods before we finish up we'll finish up desserts later.
Mashed potatoes.
Okay, I mentioned this in one of our streams before this one. I have a mad love-hate relationship with mashed potatoes because there have been times in my life where I've mentioned this before where I've been like literally like poor as fuck. Like the memes of living off ramen. I've done
Yeah.
that too, but to change it up. Most people don't talk about this. Like, there's like the box mac and cheese is really cheap. Another thing that's super, super cheap and filling is instant mashed potatoes. Like, I lived on mashed potatoes for a while in my life. So part of me hates it because it's like, it brings me back to that. But part of me is like, mashed potatoes are pretty. And also, you could just buy a huge bag of mashed potatoes back in the day for a few bucks and just do it yourself. I also love them. I love potatoes. It is my least favorite version of potatoes, though. So I'm gonna give it an A.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you in that, like, in the realm of potato-based dishes, it's one of the weaker ones. But in the context of Thanksgiving, a meal meant for, 8 to 12 people.
Oh yeah.
Mashed potatoes, like they got everything going for them. They're easy. Everyone agrees they're pretty good. They're easily adaptable if you have someone with like weird dietary restrictions.
Mhm.
Like
And
I
you can
think
do a
mashed
lot of things
potatoes,
to them.
yeah, like you can add things to them to
Mhm.
zhuzh them up, or you just pour a gallon of gravy on them. I think mashed potatoes in the realm of Thanksgiving are a solid A.
Yeah, it's an A. What do you
It's an
think?
A for me too. I wouldn't add anything to what you guys have just said. It's pretty dope.
I
Yeah,
love
I'd
mashed
put it
potatoes.
at an S because mashed potatoes are like my favorite Thanksgiving food. If there's like two things
Really?
I will reliably eat at Thanksgiving, it's mashed potatoes and rolls.
Hard
And
I will
since I don't
say,
like gravy, it's just
respect that.
plain mashed potatoes, and it's so good.
I will say this though, because I'm a little I'm a little bit like weird about this. Not the way you think. I actually think there's a lot of pluses and minuses both to fresh mashed potatoes and instant. I think they both have their own pluses and minuses, and they're both pretty different, but I think they're both good in their own ways. Just want to throw that out there. So I'm not like like, oh, they only have to be fresh, because there is a difference. But like I don't know. Now scalloped potatoes, I think you could screw those up. uh,
I think they're definitely easier to screw up than a mashed
yeah,
potato. Like I like them more, but
exactly. I'm gonna give those an
for
A just to be
Thanksgiving,
consistent, but
I think I would give it, in the realm of Thanksgiving, I think I would give it a B, just because they're such a pain and take up so much
yeah,
oven time when you need that
exactly.
for other
Oh,
things.
I'm gonna get to another pain of oven time in a second, but I honestly think that this is an A minus. But yeah, I'm gonna, even though I do think they're better in terms of a dish than mashed, because mashed potatoes are so basic. But but yeah, A minus, a B. What do you say, Josh? Scalloped potatoes. Oh, am I frozen again? Oh,
No,
Josh isn't frozen.
No,
Josh.
I'm
no,
here and I
he's just
see
stopped
myself.
moving,
I'm just thinking about it.
Oh,
Like, um,
giving us that good dead
uh,
air. Things everybody loves.
yep.
um, I'm not sure. I haven't really had much of scallops, so I'm
It's
just gonna say
kind of
it's
like,
an NA from me on this
okay. I
one.
was
It's an
gonna say
NA.
it's like the mac and cheese version of potato. And someone's gonna get so mad I compare those two. What is like the mac and cheese version of like potatoes in my opinion? Um,
Is it just that they're the slices themselves? They don't really have scallops in them, or like is it just a
Yeah,
thin
yeah,
slice?
yeah,
the scallop is more that we sliced them real thin and they look
yeah.
like scallops,
Oh,
like you'd see on the
easily
edge
A or
of like
S for me.
dressing.
A or S for me then.
Oh, so we'll put it in A because we got two A's and an A, an S minus, an A minus, and a B. Um, let's see what else. Oh, we already did peach cobbler, so I'm trying to update my own list. Um, corn on the cob. I actually wondered. I must not have read this very well when I was writing this. I forgot that there was normal, quote unquote, normal corn on here. uh,
Normal.
corn on the cob is the kind of food item where I feel like it's so there that you forget about it, and I think it's almost boring. I'm gonna give it a C for corn just because I like it. It's there. I actually don't like it on the cob, by the way. I prefer it like just as what's the word? Um,
As
uncobbed.
corn off the cob?
Yes. I know that technically is not what we're rating here, but honestly, I would probably give quote unquote normal corn a B or an A if it was not on the cob, but if it's on the cob, a C for cob, I guess. There goes.
Okay, Manuel. Quick
Yes.
question: are we just talking like plain corn on the cob, or are we including street corn in this too?
Okay, we're actually not a huge fan of street corn, but I used to love it. Okay,
What?
I don't like no wait, let me back up. I love corn on the cob if it's the street corn, but I only like butter and the cheese. I don't like chili,
The mayonnaise and the other
I hate
stuff all
mayonnaise.
sprayed in
But
there.
like but if they butter it up and throw on, is that like just like Parmesan cheese or whatever? I could fucking eat that for days. Feel my arteries
Yeah.
slowly clog up from that. But I fucking
Yeah.
like live off of that.
Elote hit different, man.
Yeah,
That is
dude.
different.
You know how hard it is to find elote out here that is actually like on the cob and not in a cup? It's very frustrating.
That's weird.
Why would they do that? You're supposed to grab your stick, shove it up the corn, and just,
Right?
do everything
Every
to
time I
it.
see it out here, it's like a cup of canned corn with stuff on top. I'm like, this is depressing. Stop
That's
this.
nasty. So no, it's just
You're
normal.
better
It's just
than
normal
this.
cob corn, not elote. Elote?
Elote.
Elote.
normal cob corn is too much of a mess for Thanksgiving. It gets a C.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely
CC.
something I have to break out the floss for. So I'll normally give it like because I like it, but it becomes an issue where like it kind of hinders a little bit of enjoyment. So I'm gonna put it at a B actually. It's like an A for me, but no, the
Yeah.
extra work is a
Okay.
little too much.
C's drag it down.
Now the funny thing, the next one is candied yams. Now this, I fucking hate. First of all, I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't stand yams. I can't stand candied yams. I'm gonna give it an F. But I will say this: besides the flavor and what they are, they're the bane of my entire Thanksgiving existence. Both at families' houses, both at Friendsgiving's houses, even in my own personal settings. These fuckers have eaten up the oven so many times, and the like, you know how many times people have spilled the juice in like a various oven?
Oh,
And like and nobody eats them. I've yet to been. This might be my family. I'm not saying that nobody eats them ever, but like my friends and family, I should say, also in all my settings, everyone always brings them. No one ever fucking eats them. They eat up oven space. They stink up the place. I can't stand the smell, and they've made messes. So like, they get an F in flavor and a fucking Z just for existing.
candied yams are a waste of a perfectly good yam.
Yes, there have been ways. Is yam just different from a sweet potato? Or is that what a yam is?
That is a whole conversation for another time. Like
Oh,
how
God.
we define sweet potato versus how we define yam in the U.S. is a whole convoluted,
Well,
awful
anyway,
nightmare, and we
I
don't have
was
that kind of time.
I like sweet potatoes, but I don't like yams. I don't know if there's a difference, but they're similar in flavor, I think. But candied yams are whole other story. F. I'm just saying F.
Candied yams, I'm willing to give a D. They exist as a dessert that wants to masquerade as a side dish, and it doesn't do good at
Yes.
either.
And I don't understand why it's a side dish. It's funny you bring that up because it's not like the pies where like you're meant to put that in your plate next to your fucking like mashed potatoes. Get that shit away from me, you know? Don't ruin my plate. Ah. So D and F. What do you say? What do you say, Photaku?
F. Not a
It's
fan.
called baked yams covered in caramel. No. Oh, it's Korean candied yams. Caramel
Korean
sounds
candied
better.
yams are good, but
I've never had those.
that's because those know what they want to be.
Yeah, I've never had those for the record. So let's
You
see
should
what
get
else.
some.
What else is there? Let's
Okay,
move.
Manuel, we are hitting about the hour 15 mark, so maybe we should hit turkey at least before.
We have 6 things. Okay, well, we hit the 2 big ones next, and then we'll go to what we have time for. So
Okay.
the first big one, before we hit turkey, I want to hit stuffing. And
Stuffing is
similar,
an S. Stuffing is my favorite food.
I was going to say
Stuffing
that
is
right.
S. Stuffing is S.
S for stuffing.
Okay, S for stuffing, but I will say that's also a nice poor person food that nobody really talks about. Like, you can get that really cheap. I make stuffing.
You can make so much of it. It
Yes!
freezes.
I love
like,
stuffing. Oh my God, I almost fell out of the chair.
for years I would actually put stuffing into a waffle
Stuffing
maker
is
and make
evil.
like stuffing waffles.
Okay, that sounds
And
kind of
they're
disgusting.
they're you don't put syrup on them. You just have like
Oh,
instead
okay.
of baking stuffing, you just have like a stuffing waffle that has gravy traps.
I actually like how easy it is to find the turkey flavored stuffing. I know you can just get chicken. They don't really sell turkey, I think, most of the times year round at some markets. And like I like buying many boxes of stuffing this time of year just so I can have it. Because it also because it's just like stale bread. It holds for a few months and everything like that until you make it. So I will have stuffing until next year sometime. Also, you can make stuffing on your own. It's actually a really easy recipe to make. You know, if you want to start from
So
scratch.
easy.
Yeah. Obviously I'm just lazy, so I'll just buy a box of it. But yeah, you could just make that at home. Well, let's go to turkey.
Sorry, what was our ranking?
Oh, S. We all said S.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
S for stuffing.
S for stuffing.
P for turkey. T's on this. No, I'm just kidding. Now, okay. I think this is hard to judge turkey because we're judging just turkey. I said this before we started that turkey should have had its own tier list. We should have like baked turkey, fried turkey, brine turkey, breast versus thigh versus whatever. But since we're not doing that, we just have turkey.
Turkey,
You see, Manuel?
turkey
What we do next year is
on the whole.
You go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay? So what we do next year is that we just record that off stream and then just air that on Thanksgiving.
There you go. What were you gonna say, Janet? Turkey what?
So turkey, on the whole, I think is a B.
Yeah, it's a
I
B.
think if you can get if you can afford to spend the money on like one of those really nice turkeys, they are noticeably different in quality and they are delicious. But it's easy to screw up a turkey.
Oh, that's gonna
Um,
say it is one of the hardest things I think. That first of all, I personally don't like baking a whole turkey, because I think it's a stupidly complicated like beast to bake. That's why usually deal in just breasts or like a drumstick. Um, but
yeah,
typically just
I
breasts.
think you're better off with if you have a lot of people to feed. I think you're better off with 2 small turkeys over
Yeah.
one big turkey.
Oh, shoot.
Um,
First of all, I've had way too many times like gone to any Thanksgiving dinner or any turkey dinner period, and the turkey's dry. You
Yeah.
remember that Simpsons episode where it's I was the monkey paws one? I forgot why he wished for a turkey dinner. He's all like, the mashed potatoes are good, the whatever's good, the turkey's a little dry. The turkey's a little dry. Damn you! Yeah, TLDR, that's me whenever turkey's a little dry. I can't stand it. Gravy will fix it, but gravy can only do so much. You're just
Gravy can
throwing.
only do so much.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna say I'm still gonna say an A minus, but an A. You said a B, right?
It's a B also.
B.
It's a B. It's a B.
It's a B for
Turkey's a
breast,
B.
Manuel.
Like the
B for,
best
I can
part
live
of
with that.
the actual best part of Thanksgiving is when turkeys go on clearance and I buy a ton of them and I just cook up all the meat and freeze that and save all the bones and make so much stock. The real joy.
I do love turkey though in general. Everyone should try a good turkey burger. I think there's some restaurants I can't remember. I think Carl's Jr. has one, but that's not the place I was going to recommend. To have good turkey burgers. Well, since we have some time, let's talk about roasted vegetables. I assume that's just mixed vegetables.
Why don't we talk about green bean casserole? Because that's actually like a Thanksgiving
Yeah.
treat.
You like green bean casserole?
I think if you make it from scratch, it is so much different than like the take a can of this, add a can of that.
Yeah, that's what I've always
Top with
had.
French's onions.
Thank you. I was gonna say, like, typically whenever I think of green bean casserole, I think of is it onion soup mix that you buy and it always has the recipe on it.
Probably.
So yeah, I, I'm gonna give that a C because I actually don't dislike it. I could honestly, if there was a definition of a dish I could leave off at Thanksgiving and just eat more gravy, um, with stuffing somewhere in there, I would take off green bean casserole. And honestly, it's one of those dishes that I've had several times at various dinners. But even though it definitely is iconic, once again, I don't think I'm like American enough. I've never had it at like enough dinners, I think, for it to feel Thanksgiving to me. So I'm gonna give it a C for casserole.
I'm going to give it an A because a good homemade green bean casserole is so good that I will make them like in the middle of summer. If I get a bunch of really nice fresh green beans, I'm like, I'm gonna make a green bean casserole. But the
What do
effort
you
to make one from scratch is just I get why people go for the cans of everything version.
Green bean What do you say, Josh? I'm looking at green bean casserole recipe right now.
I'm gonna
Casseroles
go with
also just feel like a thing you just like. Casseroles just feel like I'm lazy. I'm gonna throw everything into a pot and just throw in the not a pot, but a pan, throw in the oven. Anyways, go ahead.
You're about to
Josh?
describe hot pot in a very hot takey way. So
He's gonna
what's it
save you on that
called?
one.
What's it called? I will go with a C on it. So
A
I
C?
haven't really had enough
So that's a
good
B, I think. C, C,
outside
and A.
of just it's okay. It's not bad.
I've
I
only
put
had
it-
my sister's casserole, and that made me gag.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's the C B like
Oh, so
threshold, and
C.
I'm gonna take it down to a C.
That's
I like the.
I
like
don't
the way
hate
makes
it.
everything
It's
look
just
nice.
generally eh.
What is this? I still want
truffle
some good
oil
eats
is a
from Elton
jam.
Brown. Anyways,
Yeah.
she put truffle oil. Anyway, well, let's go
It's
go
a
back.
jam.
Let's go back to roasted vegetables, and then we'll do some. We'll rapid fire the last desserts after that. But roasted vegetables are just there, and also I know it literally says roasted, but whenever I think of roasted vegetables, I just think of like vegetables boiling and just boiled vegetables, which is the worst way to make them, in my opinion. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna give it.
Roasted? Like, I roast a lot of vegetables on the regular. I think roasted vegetables are a solid B or A. Like for Thanksgiving, I'll make like roasted carrots, and those come out pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna say it also depends on the vegetable. If we're just talking like carrots and fucking what else is a vegetable? Broccoli and like
Roasted broccoli, good.
yeah, like I, I'll give it an A for eat your veggies, kids. What do you say, Josh?
Based on the picture,
Photaku.
Bean,
if it's
bean
the
sprouts. Yes.
based on the picture, if it's the carrots and potatoes the way it looks right there, I'd give it an S. But if we're just talking about all in general, like, I guess it has some mixed mileage, so I'll go with an A also.
Bean
Yeah.
sprouts and green beans and green beans. I love green beans. Roasted green beans. No.
Roasted green beans sounds very good.
So
I
what
think
did
you
we
could do
say?
that.
I forgot
I think
what
an
letter we
A.
gave them. A. We give it an A. So we only have on my list, because we're not doing all these ones at the bottom there. It's only like 4 things left. Let's do red velvet cake, because that's definitely, I've had that a lot of times, and that's very, since we did mac and cheese and other southern-y things, red velvet I think deserves to be there. When I was younger, I thought red velvet, and I even had a fun fact. That's the same ex-girlfriend I mentioned earlier who took shit to like that party. She swore up and down to me that a red velvet cake was literally just chocolate cake with red food coloring. And then as I got older, I learned that that's not the case.
It's not
But
the case, but it's closer than you would think.
I know, but I mentioned that to people, like especially like the people who got mad at me at Poutine and shit like that, and they're all like, "That's not what red velvet cake is." So,
Like
anyways,
red velvet cake, as known in the Southern tradition, is a certain kind of cocoa with a bit of vinegar, and that's actually why you use cream cheese icing, so that you
yeah,
get the tang playing off of the slight tang to the cake. And the velvet is a texture thing, not just because it's red, and that's why for a while blue velvet and pink velvet cakes were a thing, and I'm like, I don't understand what you're doing here.
I'm gonna give it a B because I actually do like it. I will say I just realized carrot cake isn't on this list, and I think carrot cake should be, but it's not though. So we're not gonna rank that, and that doesn't count. But I'm gonna give it a B for red velvet.
A.
A.
I'm
So
gonna give
we're
it an A. Red velvet cake's
I'm gonna give it the A
pretty
anyway
good.
because I changed my mind. I'm gonna give it an A. It's triple A. I don't know
Okay.
why. I gave it a B because I was mad at carrots that aren't on here. And actually, one last one. We'll do sweet potato casserole because I've had that on almost everything, even though I hate casserole. And
Garbage
also,
food. That's an F.
thank you. I was gonna say I don't want that to be an F.
okay.
That is a way to the
Photaku.
perfectly good
What's
sweet
up?
potato and pecans.
Do you want to pull this up into a D by saying it's something higher than a C?
I'm gonna have to say an A. NA, guys. I'm gonna let them do what they're gonna do to it.
N-A.
I know we both heard that as an A, like a letter A.
I have to abstain as well, but so F. The F's have it.
For the
The
record,
F's
we're not
have
gonna,
it. Garbage
yeah,
food.
and just real fast, I'm gonna go over the parts we're not gonna do. That's a baked potato is not Thanksgiving. We talked about that Reese's pie a lot. Cheesecake, honestly, we're gonna do a cheesecake list one day, I think too.
Yeah.
We'll leave that off too. I can't read what that other one is.
Molly's gonna show up. That's
Spinach
probably
Exactly.
summoned her.
artichoke.
Oh, lemon
Yeah.
meringue. Yeah, we're
Oh.
gonna need lemon meringue and
Lemon
Lemon
meringue.
meringue
the
pie
rest
is
of my-
not
meringue.
Thanksgiving,
Oh, spinach artichoke dip. I fucking love spinach artichoke dip. That would dick.
but it's not Thanksgiving.
But it's not Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I would definitely give that an A or an S, but it's not Thanksgiving, so we're not doing that. And that's it. That's pretty much everything that like is obvious that we're not doing. That's our list. I actually like this list. This is the least okay. Personally,
Divisive? Is it the least
Exactly.
divisive?
even though even I'm not gonna lie, I honestly think that it's because some of the stuff I would have argued more about, like King's Hawaiian rolls, were not on here. Because that I fucking hate those. If I ever invite any, I'm telling all of you this right now. If I ever invite you anywhere to any dinner party, because people will fucking whip those out any dinner party, and you fucking bring King's Hawaiian rolls, like I am never inviting you back. I'm just telling you that right now. disgusting. Cheesecake equals B minus. Oh, but once again, not to get into that cheesecake argument, I don't like normal cheesecake, quote unquote, just cheesecake. Can't stand it. But the various flavors of cheesecake, oh my god, we could go forever. We'll just do
Yeah.
we'll do the Cheesecake Factory dessert tier list.
I think Molly beat us to that already.
Exactly, she did do that actually. That fucking thing took I think that was the first DTL. Took a fucking hour, so maybe actually. That's normal for a podcast, but not normal for a DTL. Fun fact: Molly was the
Oh
very
god.
first one. Do you remember that? I don't know if you were on that one, but that was the very first
No,
time.
because I opened with ice cream.
Oh, I remember that. That was
I
the
went
dessert
first and told
DTL.
everyone. Yeah, I opened by talking about ice cream, and then everyone learned so much about ice cream, and then we were all too drunk to learn about everything else.
I think isn't it sherbet, not sherbet?
Ye-
Even though everyone says sherbet,
yeah, that's what I learned recently too. But Manuel,
it's sherbet.
what are we doing this week?
Yes. Hold on, let's look at this list real fast and there's
Okay.
just Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, I'll call it the schedule. Thank you. Actually, I forgot what we were doing. Sorry. So the rest of this week we're playing some games. Tomorrow we're finishing Outlast. Actually, tomorrow might just be a short stream. We were talking about playing some Devour afterwards, but more than likely, I looked at it. We have about an hour of the game left, and probably with the ending, we're probably gonna just finish the game and just have a short stream. Also because Warren's still off site because he goes to visit his family a lot during the week. So just tune in real fast. We'll have a nice little quick thing. We'll probably shoot the shit before and after, but the game will be very short. And then on Friday we're playing more D&D with Pleiades campaign. And I tell you guys, I'm going to convince Pleiades to turn off dynamic lighting, not because I was having issues with it with my computer, because now it's not an issue because I have my laptop, but it made the most. I think, I don't know if anyone's on YouTube who watches that and UPZ and you want to give us your opinion. I thought it was unwatchable to watch it. When I was editing it, I cut that 3.5 hour show down to about a little over 2 hours. And even then, I was like, what do I put on screen? Because all you can see are like 6 little squares that are lit up because you got the dynamic lighting on. Fucking hated it. Anyways, so we'll see. Tune into that though. You'll hear us argue. And then next Tuesday is UPZ, and because it's Thanksgiving, like days before Thanksgiving, we're only gonna play Jackbox. Won't be no big topic. We're probably anecdote not Game of Thrones. What the fuck's that? I can't even call it Game of Thrones.
Cowboy
What's
Bebop,
that show? No, that's coming out too. But no, the fantasy one.
Wheel of Time.
Yeah, it
You mean the
comes out
one I wanted to talk
tomorrow.
about this week to try and get
Yeah.
some SEO action going? But you said tier list.
Well, I wanted to do this. This was the one. Sorry, my computer blew up. But this is the one topic that we actually had in the pipeline. I guess we can do that next week if you want, instead of like the game. But we'll see. We'll see. Actually, no, we'll see. We're playing games next week. We'll just talk about Wheel of Time during the game. Anyways, so that's our list. It's been a lot of fun. Thanksgiving's around the corner. Hope everyone's gonna have a good Thanksgiving. And if you have Thanksgiving, do not bring sweet potato casserole, candied yams, or pumpkin pie to it. Don't.
Honestly, if it's that color and it's not a bread, maybe don't bring it.
Exactly. I really can't stand pumpkin pie. Oh, God, I fucking hate it. Anyway. Okay, everyone have a fun Thanksgiving. Let's wrap this up. Hey. I'm bringing a vegan. Oh, you're vegan. We should have had a vegan options. I remember there was. Sorry, I'm speaking way too fast. There was a Thanksgiving where I was actually vegan, and I did have a vegan Thanksgiving. I forgot what the hell we ate. I wish I could tell you that right now, but another vegan friend of mine had a vegan Thanksgiving. It wasn't that long ago. I just forgot what the fuck we ate that day. And I think she actually flew to Taiwan the next day, so it was even like a going away dinner almost. It was a funny like couple days. Anyways, that's our thing. Viva Las Vegans. Yes.
You mean me? Man, I miss living there.
Las Vegans.
God, I miss living
Yeah,
in
there's a
Vegas.
convention right now that's going on like in a couple days. I think it might be this weekend actually, called Sin City Anime, and I really
Oh,
want to
dude,
go
I
to
saw
it.
that.
And Acme's gonna
Like,
be there.
I was gonna say Chisa and Hal are gonna be there, like out of literally nowhere, but good for them.
Well, I think that not to get too much on the insider part, but this isn't that like we talked about Acme over the weekend. But I think because they just wrapped up their tour and some of them went home and some of them didn't. guess which ones. I think that's why it's not full Acme, it's just them two. So yeah.
I mean, they're the cute ones, so
Chisa
I
is
get it.
yeah, Chisa's that's the vocalist and guitarist, by the way, Chisa in Hell. But Chisa was
Hal's
the
the
one
drummer.
who. Oh, sorry. You're actually right. Rikido is the bassist, and I can't remember who the fuck the guitarist is now that I'm on the spot. But
Right, like I'm looking at the poster right now, and I
yeah,
feel bad because like I did the interview with them when they were here, and
exactly.
they're so nice.
Tune
But
into if you're watching this on YouTube, go check out our most recent DTL because Pleiades did a presentation on them, and I linked all of our interviews, both ours, which we have like 3 of them by the way, and then I linked the Treasure Box Press interviews as well. And apparently they interviewed them again, which we didn't even do. They interviewed them at like somewhere at one of their stops on the tour. Yeah,
yeah.
we should have did
I
that.
mean, if they came here, I probably they didn't come through here, else I
Only
would have.
Miyavi, yeah, only Miyavi came through Texas, but yeah.
I mean, I guess look forward to some photos from his Dallas show when I get those together.
CCC. We interview Miyavi in a separate thing. Anyways, love plugs. Josh, thank you for showing up. Thank you for
Did
talking
you
for
just say
joining.
love plugs? What?
I said enough plugs. I just realized we've been plugging all of our interviews for too long, and JD just let me go. Usually
Yeah.
JD cuts me off. I think that was
Either
the
way.
big problem. Usually JD's like right away, like, okay guys, let's wrap it up. But JD let me just talk about interviews we did for like 5 minutes, lost every viewer. Anyways, thank
Yeah,
you
we're
for
ending
joining us.
anyway. The only thing left is the raid.
Yeah, that's our show. That I already said everything during. Shout out to
To our patrons, our patron.
and Kenneth. No, we have 2 actually. To Ed, I guess updated his credit card info. Thank you. No, I thought that we lost the Patreon, but no. Apparently, they just didn't update it last month, but they did this month. They're still on and they're renewed. Anyways, shout out to them. There is. I posted the November update. Everything is a little backed up because of my computer blowing up, but I think everything is back on track, both A to J and Patreon and whatever. So I'm both resolved to do things now because I was just really like down because my computer blew up at the worst time. But now I'm like
R.I.P.
back on things. Yeah. Anyways, and if you want to support us, go support us on Patreon because just have a fund for Manuel's new computer. Well, I'm sure I'll get it fixed before the Patreon ever really gets there, but it'll help. A little bit helps, whatever. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for like, comment, subscribing if you did that. If not, then hate you. I'm just kidding. Please just do it. We love you all. Have a happy holiday. Check out our shows. Peace out. Good night. Thank you,
Night,
Josh.
everybody.
Thank you, Janet.
Night.
Have a good one.
We're